Today I will be simulating one season in every single NCAA football game to see which school wins the most championships. So in our first game, NCAA Football 2002, before we get into the simulation, we're just going to go over the top 10 teams because these are going to be the favorites to win these natties. Florida, Miami, Oklahoma, Texas, Florida State, Tennessee, Nebraska, Oregon, Virginia Tech, and Kansas State. And just taking a look at who the best players in the nation were around this time. Julius Peppers is the lone 99. Then you got Deshaun Foster from UCLA, Quentin Jammer, Antonio Bryant, Ed Reed, Brian McKinney, Alex Brown, Mike Pearson, Jabbar Gaffney, William Green, Mike Williams. So this season's Heisman winner is going to be Antoine Womack from UVA, 297 carries, 1,400 yards, 17 touchdowns. And the national championship is going to be number 1 UCLA taking on number 2 Texas. This was the time before Super Sim. We're just going to go ahead and simulate this game right here. And the winner's going to be UCLA. They bump off Texas 31-19. This is pretty much a home game for UCLA playing in Pasadena. And UCLA kicks things off with the surprising first national championship in 2002. Moving on to our next game, NCAA 2003. The top 10 teams in this one are going to be the Miami Hurricanes, Texas Longhorns, Oklahoma Sooners, Tennessee Volunteers, the Bum SU Seminoles, the Florida Baby Gators, Washington State Cougars, Oregon, the Colorado Buffs, and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Take a look at the top players in the nation. We got 199 overall. That's going to be E.J. Henderson from Maryland. Then we got Mike Doss, William Joseph, Brett Williams, Rex Grossman, Roy Williams, Dennis Weathersby. This season's Heisman winner is going to be Byron Leftwich, 4,100 passing yards with 42 passing touchdowns. The natty this year is going to be number 2 11-1 Miami taking on number 1 12-1 Oklahoma, and Miami gets their cheeks clapped 36-7. Oh my God. And now Oklahoma joins the UCLA Bruins on the list for their first national championship. Here we are at NCAA Football 2004. The preseason poll has Ohio State, Oklahoma, Miami, Texas, Kansas State, Auburn, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, USC, and Michigan as the top 10 schools. And take a look at the best players in the nation. This is the first time we got 2 99s. We got Roy Williams of Texas, Chris Gamble of Ohio State, then Rashawn Woods, Tommy Harris, Sean Andrews. This season's Heisman winner is going to be Darren Sproles, 1,730 yards on the ground, another 321 through the air with 28 total touchdowns. And this season's natty is going to be 12-0 number 1 Miami taking on 11-1 number 2 Maryland. And Miami gets a shot at redemption because they got their cheeks clapped last season versus Oklahoma. All right, boys, let's go ahead and get this sim off and see who's going to win this one. The final score was 24-17, so it looks like it was an amazing game. Miami had to put up 11 points in the fourth quarter to get the dub. Vince Wilfork was the player of the game for Miami with 8 tackles, 3 sacks. And now the U are on the board with Oklahoma and UCLA. All right, boys, here we are, NCAA 2005. Top schools in the nation: USC, Oklahoma, LSU, Georgia, Miami, Florida State, Texas, Ohio State, Michigan, and Florida. Top players in the nation, we got quite a few 99s. Tom Malone, Mike Williams, Derek Johnson, Dustin Colquitt, Mike Nugent, Marcus Spears, Ben Wilkerson, David Pollock. So Darren Sproles is going to win back-to-back Heisman trophies in this sim. 1,700 yards on the ground once again, just 205 through the air with 21 total touchdowns. This year's natty is going to be Penn State taking on USC. So USC is going to win this natty in an absolute landslide. 59-14 is the final score. My goodness. And now the Trojans also have themselves the national championship. All right, boys, here we are in NCAA 06. Top teams for this season: USC, Tennessee, Iowa, Oklahoma, Florida State, Texas, Michigan, Louisville, LSU, and Virginia Tech. Top players in the nation: Matt Leinart, Tom Malone, Max Jean Giles, John Torp, Matthias Kabanuku, Ahmad Brooks, Connor Hughes, Reggie Bush, Mercedes Lewis, Justin Medlock. Kyle Wright of Miami is actually going to be named the Heisman Trophy winner this season. He threw for 3,900 yards, 52 carries on the ground with a total of 46 touchdowns. And this season's natty will be Michigan taking on Tennessee. So number 2 Michigan is going to bump off Tennessee 27-24. And Michigan only scored 3 points in the fourth quarter, still got a dub. Tennessee just fell short of their comeback. And now Michigan joins the ranks of national champions. So the top 10 teams coming in the NCAA 07, Ohio State, Texas, Notre Dame, USC, LSU, Florida, Auburn, Oklahoma, West Virginia, and Louisville. And take a look at who the best players in the nation are: Mason Crosby, Gaines Adams, Paul Peluzny, Adrian Peterson, LaRon Landry, Calvin Johnson. So Colt McCoy is going to be the Heisman winner on NCAA Football 07. He beats out Jeff Samardzija, Troy Smith, Lyman Sweet, and Brady Quinn. And the national championship game is going to be Ohio State versus Texas. A different team will be winning a natty every single season because Ohio State nor Texas has won one yet. Texas is going to walk away natty champions, knocking off Ohio State 21-17. And we continue to have a different national champion every single season. So here we are in the very first game on Next Gen, back then the PS3, NCAA 08. heavyweight, the top teams this year was USC, Michigan, LSU, Florida, Texas, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, Virginia Tech, and Arkansas. And take a look at the top players in the nation. We got Sam Baker, Dan Connor, Brandon Graham, Darren McFadden, Glenn Dorsey, Brian Braum, Travis Beckham, Steve Slayton, Keith Rivers. This year's Heisman winner is going to be Devon Best of Hawaii, 92 catches, 1,351 yards, 15 touchdowns. He beats out Steve Slayton, Mike Hart, Brian Braum, and Tim Tebow. This year's natty is going to be West Virginia taking on Michigan. Michigan is the first team that has a chance to win their second natty in the sim. And I actually forgot to jump into Super Sim this game, boys, but Michigan is going to get the job done. They are the first team to 2 natties. They beat West Virginia 27-21. I'm actually surprised we have yet to have a Bama sighting. Here in NCAA 09, this is what the top 10 is looking like. We got the Georgia Bulldogs, Oklahoma Sooners, Ohio State Buckeyes, USC Trojans, the Boo F Gators, LSU Tigers, Missouri, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Texas. Take a look at the best players in the nation. We got James Laurinaitis, Tim Tebow, Ray Maluga, Pat White, Jasper Brinkley, Michael Orr, Duke Robinson, Chris Wells, Chase Daniel, Myron Rowe, Andre Smith, George Selvey, Taylor Mays, Michael Crabtree, Graham Harrell, Sean Lee. So this season's Heisman winner is going to be Rudy Carpenter of Arizona State. And this year's natty is going to be West Virginia versus Clemson. So jumping into this West Virginia-Clemson game, Clemson had the ball first. West Virginia is going to go down and score in the first quarter. Clemson finally gets 3, but West Virginia goes down and gets another 6. Simming through to halftime now, seeing if West Virginia could take a commanding lead. They get stopped. Clemson's defense is playing halfway decent, but their offense is not scoring. Now let's sim up to the fourth quarter here. Can Clemson get on the board with a touchdown? West Virginia scores again, 21-3. And it doesn't look like we're going to have to jump in this one at all because this game so far has been all West Virginia. West Virginia is going to be this year's champions here in NCAA 09. Much like UCLA, I did not expect to see West Virginia win a natty in this sim. All right, so now we are here in NCAA 10. This begins the Nick Saban dominated era. Preseason top 10 is going to be the Florida Gators, Oklahoma, Texas, USC, LSU, Alabama, Ohio State, Penn State, Oklahoma State, and Virginia Tech. The best players in the nation: Taylor Mays, Jermaine Gresham, Sam Bradford, Tim Tebow, Colt McCoy, Eric Berry, Cerrone Black, Brandon Spikes, Sean Lee, Dez Bryant. Central Michigan's Dan Lefevre is going to be this year's Heisman. And this season's natty is going to be Oklahoma versus Florida. Oklahoma has their first chance of becoming a 2-time champion this sim. All right, boys, here we are in this natty. Oklahoma's going to strike first. They're going to strike again. Florida finally goes down and scores. That's going to take us to the second quarter. Oklahoma is driving. Let's sim the half. Florida gets the rock back. They tie this one up, and they're going to go up 7 heading into the locker room, and they're actually going to grab 3 more. So let's go play-by-play here for Oklahoma. First play is a 10-yard penalty. Second play is an 8-yard pickup. Then we got a 22-yard pass from Landry Jones to Broyles. Jones hits Miller. That pass is thrown away, and he's going to hit Broyles for a 34-yard touchdown, and Oklahoma is a field goal away from being down a single score. Now it is up to Tim Tebow and the boys to see if they can actually stop this run. Tim Tebow throws the ball to Aaron Hernandez, 7 yards. He goes right back to Aaron Hernandez for another 7. This time he goes to races Riley Cooper. Jeff Demps, 4-yard rush. Tebow sacked, a loss of 3, and Tebow's going to throw an interception to Reynolds. 3:36 left in this ball game. Oklahoma has the ball. Can they take the lead or tie this one up? Great field position here for Landry Jones in this Oklahoma offense. What are they going to do? They got a man in motion. Let's see if they go to the air. They're actually going to hand this one off to DeMarco Murray. He's going to truck his way forward, and he's going to pick up 8. But I could be wrong, or they're going to hand the ball off. It's a counter, and this time Florida is in the backfield immediately. Big time third down here for Oklahoma against this Florida defense, which was really, really good at the time. And Landry Jones just eludes a sack. Man in motion. It's actually going to be a handoff. And I think that's Broyles he handed the ball off to. He has a first down a little bit more. All right, we got a 2nd and 13 here. They're going to hand the ball off to DeMarco Murray once again. He has a lot of room in front. He's got to make 2 miss. He spins. 2:33 left in this ball game here. Will Landry Jones find a way to get his team with his first down or even a touchdown? He pitches it out to DeMarco Murray. He trucks his way forward, and they're wasting a little bit of clock here. I really don't understand that. I guess you want to try to take this game to overtime. Oklahoma's finally going to kick it under 2 minutes, and that one is going to split the uprights. 9 seconds left here. If Tim Tebow can actually, get a decent gain here, they can definitely put these boys in field goal range. They are already in plus territory. He's going to go to the sideline. That's going to be a first down to Jeff Demps. So with 4 seconds left, the Gators are bringing out the kick team here. This is not a chip shot. The kick is up, and it is wide right. So Tim Tebow faces a 3rd and 1 here on their overtime drive. Either he picks up the first or they're going to settle for 3 man in motion. It's going to be a keep by Tebow, and I'm surprised Tebow was unable to pick that up. He's actually going to lose a yard. So the Gators are going to bring out the kick team. Can their kicker actually hit this kick this time? This one's more of a chippy. It is up and it is through the uprights. How does Oklahoma answer? So 1st and 10 here. Oklahoma looking to punch it in, but we could turn the ball over. DeMarco Murray's cutting that one up the middle, and luckily Oklahoma's about 5 to 6 yards away from winning a second natty here in this sim. DeMarco Murray picks up another 1st down. You know what I mean? And DeMarco Murray's not in the game, but Brown is going to ice this one for the Sooners as they are going to win the championship here in NCAA Football 10. And Oklahoma now joins Michigan for dual championships. So here in NCAA 11, the top 10 is looking like this: Bama, Ohio State, Texas, Oregon, Boise State, Florida, Virginia Tech, TCU, Nebraska, and Iowa. Take a look at the top players in the nation. We got Andrew Luck, Pat P, Mark Ingram, Andy Dalton, Jake Kirkpatrick, LaMichael James, DeMarco Murray, Michael Floyd, Marvin Austin, Case Keenum. This season's Heisman is going to be Taylor Potts of Texas Tech. He threw for 5,500 yards, 57 total touchdowns. He beat out DeMarco Murray and Christian Ponder. And this season's natty is going to be Bama taking on Michigan State, who is #1 in the nation. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say Bama's about to beat the brakes off of these dudes. All right, boys. So like we've been doing quarter by quarter, Bama goes down and gets 3. Michigan State goes down and gets 7. Bama finally punches it in. They get a stop and they're driving heading into the second quarter. Bama only gets 3. Michigan State is now struggling to score. They're getting stopped left and right. But Bama's offense isn't that potent right now either. 20-10 here at the break. Starting off the third quarter, Michigan State goes down and scores. They get a stop. They're unable to score. It's been pretty back and forth. Michigan State finally ties this one up. Kirk Cousins throws a huge interception, a pick 6 to Drake Kirkpatrick for a touchdown. And if that ain't the most Kirk Cousins thing, I don't know what is. And this time he goes 3 and out. Bama scores here. This game's probably over. They go up 2 scores, but there is enough time left. Kirk Cousins is sacked and struggles on his drive. And Bama is going to punch it in once again, 41-20. Surprisingly enough, Alabama's going to just now be winning their first national championship of this whole entire sim. And Nick Saban finally has his boys on the wall of champions. Here on NCAA 12, in the top 10 teams, Oklahoma, Bama, Stanford, LSU, Oregon, Ohio State, Oklahoma State, Boise State, Texas A&M, and BUMSU. NCAA 12 is the one NCAA game where my roster is always kind of messed up here and there, but I'm going to go off of memory. First player is Andrew Luck. Second player is going to be Kellen Moore. This right here is LaMichael James. This right here, if I'm not mistaken, is Justin Blackman. Odell Winston is going to be Luke Kuechly. This player right here is going to be Alshon Jeffrey. This is Dante Hightower. This is Marshawn Lattimore before he got injured. So this season's Heisman winner is going to be Case Keenum. He threw for 4,800 yards, ran for 718. Total of 59 touchdowns. And this year's natty is going to be Ohio State versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma has a chance to become the first school with 3 natties. So let's see if we'll be able to jump into this game. I'm going to go to the end of the game. And Oklahoma strikes first. They go up 10-0 early. Ohio State finally scores again. They get a stop. Oklahoma has the ball again. They go up 10 points, getting ready to head into the locker room. Ohio State is really struggling to score. Oklahoma is now up 24-7. Halftime has gone and come. Oklahoma's up 31-7, 34-7, and I feel like Ohio State has no chance in hell in coming back. And then Oklahoma is going to be our first to 3 here in this simulation. And I know it's a bunch of you Oklahoma fans out there yelling Boomer Sooner. Preseason polls on NCAA 13: Alabama, USC, LSU, Oregon, Oklahoma, Georgia, Arkansas, BUMSU, Michigan, and West Virginia. Take a look at the best players in the nation. No 99s this year. Monty Ball, Matt Barkley, Manti Te'o, Marcus Lattimore, Tyler Eifert, Robert Woods, Star Lotulelei, K'Wan Short, Silas Red, Landry Jones, Aaron Murray. This season's Heisman winner is going to be Colin Klein of Kansas State. He beats out Denard Shoelace Robinson as well as Monty Ball. And this season's natty is going to be Virginia Tech versus South Carolina. 2 teams that have yet to be in the natty, so we're going to have a brand new winner here this season. So we haven't had to jump in any of the natties in a while. Hopefully this one is going to prove a little bit different. And just as I said that, Virginia Tech is up 20-0 in the first half, bro, and 27-0. This one is ugly. South Carolina finally scores, but I don't think Virginia Tech. Oh, wait. South Carolina scores again. Virginia Tech is stopped. If South Carolina can score right here and make this a game, that'll be interesting. And they can't. 34-20. And that's going to be the ball game. Virginia Tech is going to win this natty. And they too are added to the wall of champions. Here we are on the final game, NCAA 14, aka college football revamped. Since we're doing everything on the PC emulator, we do not have the actual 2014 rosters. So this is what it's looking like right now. Bama, Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, Utah, Michigan, Oklahoma, Baylor. The top players here today: Will Anderson, Bryce Young, Tyree Wilson, Joey Porter Jr., Paris Johnson Jr., CJ Stroud, Will Levis, Jack Campbell, Devin Witherspoon, Jalen Carter, Anthony Richardson, Bijan Robinson, Quentin Johnson. This year's Heisman is going to be Eric Gray of Oklahoma. This season's natty is going to be Oklahoma versus USC. If Oklahoma wins this natty, they will have completely dominated this sim, although they're pretty much the winner already. So this one is actually a home game for USC because we're playing in a Rose Bowl. Oklahoma strikes first. They get stopped. USC is trying to find a way to find the end zone. That's the end of the first quarter. And let's see if Caleb Williams can punch it in. He gets the ball again. They just get 3. USC's defense is playing stout. And then finally, Caleb Williams puts 3 more points on the board before the half. Similar to the fourth quarter here, USC is stuffed once again. Oklahoma's offense hasn't been going for a while. They get 3. USC keeps driving down. They finally get a touchdown. And here we are in the fourth quarter with a 3-point ball game. Oklahoma is stuffed right there. Caleb Williams throws an interception. Oklahoma gets the ball back again. They looks like they go 3 and out. USC driving down the field. They're forced to punt. 4:21 left in this ball game. And let's really keep our eyes on this. 3rd and 13. Oklahoma needs to pick up this first down if they want to win this game. With 3 timeouts, 3:08 left, there's still enough time to come back and win this game if they don't pick up the first down here, but it was certainly behooved them to pick up this first down. The blitz is in and they dump it off, and that's not even going to pick up nearly enough. Caleb Williams is shotgun. Are they going to play it easy or try to pick up the first? They are going to go for the first, and that ball is batted away. I thought it was going to be picked off. The USC field goal unit is coming out. This is not a chippy. Will they be able to make this kick? USC kind of historically has pretty good kickers. The kick is up and the kick is short. Jump it in here, 3rd and 15. Oklahoma needs to pick up this first. This might be field goal range for them as well, but they just can't take a sack. And he's going to hit a man over the middle, and that's going to definitely make the kick a lot easier. Oklahoma calls out their kick unit, and this kick is pretty much right down the middle. A lot closer than it was for USC. And they're going to take the clock here, and they're going to try to go to OT. The kick is up, and the kick is through the uprights. We got a 13-all ball game. Caleb Williams was able to get all the way down the field here, but I don't think the USC kicker is going to be able to knock this kick through. But this is going to be their best bet. They did have one more timeout. I would have tried to get a little bit closer, and that one is well short as well. Here in OT, 3rd and 8 for Caleb Williams in his USC Trojan offense. If I'm the USC coach, bro, I'm probably going for it. I don't know if I trust my kicker at this point. Caleb Williams steps up in the pocket, takes a shot to the end zone, and that one's actually going to be just shot at end zone inside the 5, but a pass brought down in front of 2 Oklahoma defenders. Williams has thrown 58 passes in this ball game. 1st and goal here for USC. Can they punch it in here? And they're actually going to hand this one off, and that's going to be an easy touchdown for the Trojans. All right, the extra point is good by the Trojans. Eric Gray is going to pick up 7. He's going to lose 2. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 here for Oklahoma. Gabriel needs to pick up this first down. This is 4-down territory, though. They have to go for it no matter what. Can't take a sack, and he's got a man wide open over the middle. Here's another 3rd down for Dylan Gabriel, 3rd and 5 to be exact. They are inside the 10-yard line. Do they go for broke and try to score on this player? Do they just focus on gaining yards? And Gabriel's going to take off, and USC is all, no, they're not all over that. He breaks 2 tackles, but he's eventually brought down. This is for the game right here, boys. Dylan Gabriel, I thought he was going to pick up that first down on that last run. Not really sure about this formation. They better not run the damn ball. Okay, they're not. Gabriel's back to pass, and that was nearly picked off, and the USC Trojans are NCAA champions once again. They're 2nd of the sim. Oklahoma cannot get number 4, but they do still remain the leader. Final tally of all the national championships here. Oklahoma leads the way with 3, USC with 2, Michigan with 2, UCLA, Miami, Texas, Bama, West Virginia, and Virginia Tech all in with 1. So you guys let me know down in the comment section below, what were your expectations going into this video, and did these meet your expectations? Did they exceed them, or were you completely mind blown by the teams that were able to win the natty? The 2 that really surprised me was the first one that went to UCLA and Virginia Tech. So for this simulation, the Sooners become the #1 school in this universe.